Hi, folks. I just wanted to check in with you and give you a little overview of what the assignments in the course are. So let's have a look at the Canvas shell. If you skip down to the assignments, you'll notice I am a fan of South Park. Keep skipping and you'll see that there are 800 points available in the course. You'll have 2 quizzes. Those are low stakes quizzes over the lecture material that I'll provide you. One will be due before the residency and then the other will come after the residency. Also, the institutional review board training is an important part of this course, and understanding what it means to do research as a student at Bowling Green is very important. So you'll need to take that training, as I sent the link to you last week. Once you complete that training, you'll get a certificate, and that is what you need to upload. And you can upload the copy of the document, or you can take a picture and upload, whatever works for you. Prior to residency, you will also have to complete 4 discussion boards, and those are about the research article that I've assigned to each group. There are 3 different articles. There are 6 groups. So 2 groups have the same research article. And let me show you how to find that article. When you log into the course, click on People. And then you'll notice that I have access to other things as well. So pre-residency groups, whatever group you're in, you will be able to see only that group. So when you click on the group, oops, pardon me. There we go. The article will be under Files over here. That's where you would go to find what research article is assigned to you. So the reason that I assigned 2 groups to have the same research article is because last year it seemed like one pass through it really wasn't quite enough. You should also know that both groups who present on the same article will go the same day. And we'll talk a little bit more about what that's going to look like and what the folks that are watching the presentations will do during that time and so forth, how we're going to run all that. It'll be fun. Couple more assignments for you. That presentation alone, that is my plan is for you to build the presentation out of the discussion board forums. So those discussion boards should be giving you a leg up on creating that presentation, and you'll submit the materials for it and perform the presentation as 2 separate assignments, and you'll be able to see that as we get closer to it. Then one other important note is that you must submit the paper that you're revising in this course and began in Dr. Katie's course. If you don't submit that paper, you will lose 100 points in this class, and that is significant by design. The idea is to force you into the practice of submitting your work and your thoughts for evaluation, the idea being learning to take criticism and feedback and become resilient and be able to resubmit it again. So once you submit a journal article, they typically send you some sort of confirmation, and depending on which journal you're submitting to, it can look different ways, but it will be that evidence that you have in fact submitted it for peer review that I will be looking for you to upload there. And as we get closer to the end of the course, certainly after residency, we'll hear more about that. In addition to that revised article being submitted, you will need to complete a sample institutional review board protocol that you'll submit to me. You will not submit it to them. You are not far along enough to submit a plan for how you're going to do your research yet, but I want you to have one practice at actually having to write it up as you would have to for the institutional review board. The revised paper is also worth 100 points, as well as your response to reviewers. Part of the feedback you're getting from Dr. Katie, or probably have gotten, is a review describing where your article is succeeding and where there's room for improvement. And it's your response to those, particularly the ideas for improvement, that we'll want to see in that response. All right, so we looked at all those assignments, so let's quick have a look at the modules themselves that you can see. Let me go back and make sure I'm only going to show you the ones you can see for now. All right, so if you have a look at the modules where we're going to start, this is just kind of an introduction. I'm glad you're here. The syllabus summarizes everything that you need to know to be able to succeed. In this research methods introduction, what I've done is to provide some videos from different sources, some kind of irreverent, I think is the word I used, and others kind of stayed to get you into the way of thinking about what I mean when I say research methods. So please do have a look at these videos. Then we're going to move into the pre-residency discussion board assignments. So I already mentioned that 2 groups of the 6 will get the same articles, so that the 3 articles, each one of them will be a presentation will be created by 2 groups for each one of them. So those articles are difficult articles. They're in the top journals in our discipline, and there's things to pick apart in each of them. And certainly no research is perfect, but I'm asking you to critically evaluate those articles so that you can develop kind of a healthy skepticism about what you're reading, and then also be able to kind of turn that skeptical eye on yourself and challenge yourself to develop research designs that are rigorous. So the first one, I'm asking you to define what action research is. That's what I'm calling AR. Well, what is AR? I want to know what you think action research is. You will have to post before you can see the rest of your group's posts, and then what I will grade as a group grade will be the final answer that your group gives. Then second, I'm looking for your ability to take the research article that's assigned to your group and identify what the researchers want to know. What is the research question of interest? Again, you're going to need to post and then post your final group separately. The following week, you're going to need to evaluate how your article collected data. And collecting data can mean collecting numbers, right? But measuring things in that way, or it can also be a qualitative evaluation of trying to understand the context or interviewing people and so forth. The idea here is I want you to make a storyboard to display that graphically. You started working on some of those things with Dr. Katie. The reason that I want you to use a storyboard is so that you can put yourself in the place of a participant in the research. So the goal here is really to act out the research as if you were conducting it, to allow the other folks, as you're presenting during residency, to understand exactly what happened. It also gives you kind of the first person view of what the participants experienced, and probably will give you a hint on what some of the issues are within the research itself. Then last, I'm wanting to know for the 9th, how could action research have improved your project? Action research is a particular approach that you'll define this following week, and I want to know where you see the value of that approach as it would have applied to this article. None of the articles I've assigned include an action research component, particularly. Rather, I'm asking you to come up with some ways to identify that and how it could have improved the project. So this is going to be challenging. Some of them have advanced statistics. Skip the statistics components and keep going. Practicing reading these kinds of research articles is a skill. Often students tell me that starting with the discussion section, strangely, is the easier way to go. And you'll see that the papers are, of course, organized in a manner consistent with APA format. So there will be an introductory portion, then a methods portion, and then a results, and last, the discussion portion. So sometimes if you start with the last piece and read that first, That can help you understand the layout of the rest of the article. Please expect to feel some frustration and have some trouble getting through, but your teammates and I am here to support you. And I'm looking forward to getting into all these articles with you. Thank you.